Projects with Petro, and we've got a project. You haven't seen this one yet. This is a 1986 Skeeter Strata F80. Super cool little boat. My son actually picked it up. He worked all summer and saved up some money, and this is what he bought. It's a little bit cleaned up, what you're seeing right here. We'll throw in some clips of the before and after. We didn't get all of the projects filmed. We were in a rush to get it done, and he bought it in September. So we used it in the fall, did a couple bass tournaments with it, and then wrapped it up. So now it's spring, and we're opening it up and want to continue with the projects. This boat originally did not have a deck right here, it just had the small up on the front, and so we decided that we want to do something better with this. When we bought the boat, it was a big warped piece of plywood that they made this bigger platform for, not built particularly well, and then we rushed through it to get something that we could use for fall fishing. So it's time to take it all apart and make it a little bit better. We want to do a couple different compartments. You'll see the structure of how this is put together. Wood construction, I actually want to flip over to using aluminum frame construction. I've never done it before, and I've never really used a rivet gun or anything like that, but I saw some other folks doing it on YouTube, so I thought it'd be fun to try. And so these Stratas, I think, were way ahead of their time. This is a cool little boat. I was super happy when my son found it, even though I didn't really want another boat, because they're 15 feet 6 inches, but yet they have 2 live wells, and a lot of features just layout wise that were, you know, very close to what they have now. So the only thing different is in the 80s when they were doing these boats, they did not have the full big deck across it. You see, it was sort of like a traditional hull style where you step down into a cockpit, if you would. It's a small boat, so this platform that I'm sitting on here doesn't leave you much room to walk around and fish on. So it makes a lot of sense to turn this into a deck. You know, bring it up to a little bit close, but again, we're under $2,000, well under $2,000 for the price of this boat that my son got. You'll see in the videos that it runs really well. We had to definitely do some cleanup, but it's been a heck of a lot of fun for some short money to get out there and do some tournaments and everything. So what I'm going to be using here is went to Home Depot and got some 1/8 inch just angle aluminum. I don't know exactly what you call it, but that's what I'm calling it. So I want to figure out how to build a little cabinet here. And the hinges before that you saw me taking off, problematic because I'm using plywood. That's what I have available for the hatches and screwing into the end grain, which never holds very well. But I think the problem is I didn't have good support underneath it. That's why the hinges got loose on me. So I think if I build this more of a cabinet style where the hinges are just literally used to hinge and not as a support, and they shouldn't be, but that's how it was working before. I should get a little bit longer screws and I should be okay. I'm not trying to make a very expensive project here, just something that's just a little bit more usable and functions a little bit better than what we had. So that's what we're going to try to do, and it's going to be interesting because this deck is level. This deck, if you look at these, there must have been some sort of plans at one point when they designed this boat, because there's little ledges here, and if you look at this ledge and this ledge, it actually pitches back towards the boat. And you can't see it, but you're sitting on a rod locker that also pitches back towards the boat. So I need to decide if I want to, I've got to plan this thing out, whereas if I want to, over here, I'm pointing like you can see it, do I want to bring this up like this so it is more of a level, or do I just want to use those supports? So I'm going to take it apart and play with this a little bit. Off camera, so you don't have to watch me, and come up with a good plan. But it's tricky because the boat is on the trailer, so it's not exactly level. I might end up leveling it a little bit better with sort of a car jack or something like that. But you just a lot of it has to be done by eye, because there's just so many angles, and And you know, the most important thing, that it looks flat and it feels flat, and it when you're walking on it, and it's strong. So I've got to sort of rethink this. Before, I just used what was here, which the person that owned the boat before us did. So we're just sort of redoing a better job than they did, but it wasn't square and it kind of wobbled all over the place. So that's the plan. And once I put that together, I'll get you back on camera. Okay, I think I've got a start of a plan. So that bar that was coming across, and I'll show you in person, I think those existing 90-degree mounts that are screwed to the boat will work. And I'm going to make little standoffs, little posts if you would, that'll rivet to that, and then the bar will come across. So what I'm doing now is I'm just figuring out, this is how this is going to be, if you would, on that other section. So what I'm trying to do is figure out, this is 1 inch thick, so if I put a rivet 1/2 inch in a square on the top of these, that should start me where I want to be for the cross brace. So I'm just using my drill press. Got a 3/16 each bit to go with the rivet. So I'm just gonna mark the square end here, and I'm gonna make a hole. So somewhere around there, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Okay, I got that right. Alright. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. Alright, I'll do it this way. You can't understand me with this in my mouth, so I'm just marking a 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I can level it up when I get there, but we're pretty close here. I think what I'll do when I make the other brace, I'll just make sure that it's tight. This will make more sense when I get there. Okay, so I think I kind of got a plan. So what you're looking at here is, right over here is the original, in the corner is the original piece that was bolted on by the prior owner. I'm going to use that because it's pretty solid, and I just don't think I think it's the best way that I can go. And then I've got a little post, this guy, that is underneath it and riveted to it. And then if we go to this side, you'll also see that I've got the same standoff right here. And then I'm going to basically take this and bolt this to this. I'm just going to do one rivet on the bottom, because I'm going to have to go this way or that way. But basically what I did is, you'll see I also put it on the level so that I think I'm matching the level of the, I'm pretty close to matching the level of the deck as it sits on the trailer. And if we go all the way over here, it is also sitting on this little ledge, which I think is good. So if we have post there and then post over here, we should be pretty strong once we get the rest of the structure. I also plan on filling this area here with a piece of plywood with carpet on it. So we should have a pretty rigid thing going on. So we'll start from there. Now, what I'm going to try to do, these rivets that I bought, I'm realizing that they're, the shank on them is a little short. It seems to be working, so I'm going to keep going here. But so I got the rivet here, hole drilled in 3/16, and then I'm just going to squeeze it until it pops, I think. Harder than I thought it would be. and that's it. Alright, so I think we finally got this figured out here. So I'm going to do a little work so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got this little stanchion off of here. I've got this set up so it matches perfectly the level of the boat. So we're supported here and also supported over here on my left hand side. And now what we're doing is I'm going to put a rivet in. So I'm going to find the center here. I could slow that down. Alright, so I'm going to try to do it where you guys can see me. It's probably going to bounce the camera around a little bit, but... So I'm going to hold it like that. That's about right where I want it. I drill a hole with this one. Okay, if I put a little oil on there, it'd be a little bit better, but I don't have enough hands to show you that. So, then I take this guy. I've got to clear this out here. Hang on 1 minute. Okay. So then I take this and push this in here like that. I'm sure almost everybody's probably done this but me. I always glue and screw things like I said, but then I stick it through this hole and then squeeze it tight once, and sometimes I gotta do it twice. I haven't quite figured out how to use this thing like it should. For some reason it's not pop. It should pop. Hang on. There it is. Okay. Sorry. Should have been a little bit easier. I was probably in front of the camera, but you see, now that's on there, which is pretty cool. Then what I'm doing is I'm going to try to position you so you guys can see that. Alright, then I'm taking my square, which is over here, and I'm squaring this off of here. And then, it's right like that. Mark it so I know where I'm at. Alright, and so I won't bore you with the details, but I'm going to go through, drill that over there, and then do another pop rivet. Then I got to figure out what to do over here. Kind of tricky. We'll be back. Alright, so I think what we're going to do, I have this leftover carpet from the old hatch that I made. And I want to do the bottoms because I was thinking about painting them. Just because when you open up the hatch, it just doesn't look that neat with the plywood going, and I want to make it look a little bit better. So I got this idea that to use this old carpet, it's going to throw it out anyway, and it's the underside, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll cut this onto it and glue this onto it, and that'll be like the bottom of the panel. We've got a cap for Luke's pickup truck that is carpeted on the underside, and it just looks really nice. So I'm going to try to take advantage of some of this free material that we have and glue it down. So I think the best way to do this is to put some glue on and smooth it out, and then get a razor blade and trim the edges, and that should make it pretty easy. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we can vacuum it, and then we'll flip the panel over and do the other side. And the other side will be folded and bent on it. So hopefully it won't be too thick, but I think it'll come out nice if we do it this way. The glue that I'm using is sorry for that, just indoor outdoor carpet glue from Home Depot. I'm sure there's a better solution for like a marine boat product that would be better, but we don't have that many marine options where we are, and this is cheap, and it actually worked pretty good on the last panel. We had a really tough time pulling it up, so just gonna slap this on there and then pad the other one down. So we'll start here. Now, I did originally have like a trowel that had grooves in it, looks like you use for tile, but it really didn't make much difference. It was more about the thickness of the product than it was using that trowel on. Usually the groove trowel is really to make it so you have the same consistency or thickness when you do tile work, but it's not that big of a deal. We're going to be smushing this down pretty good here. I might have just put way too much on there, so let me smooth this around. We'll get that carpet on there, and then I'll bring you back to it. All right, we're struggling a little bit, but we're getting it there. You see this seam? This is what we're trying to accomplish, where the carpet is butted up and stapled in, because that looks pretty good when you, this is the underside again. The last one we did, we folded it over, stapled it like we thought it was going to be permanent, and then we found out it was just too thick for the framing. So we're trying to not do it twice here. So the best thing that we've come up with is that we're holding it tight, stapling it temporarily, cutting it with the knife, and then doing the final staple, and that's how we got this side. So that's what we've been working on. We'll show you the end result, but it's a little bit of a struggle to hold this tight. I'll show you what I'm trying to really stretch it and then temporarily staple it, and I'm working my way all the way around to try to get that the best I possibly can as the board's moving on me. And then taking a straight edge and running a knife on the straight edge and then folding it back together again. It's kind of a lucky shot if we get it to work out perfectly. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but this is what we found. And so we've got it set up. We'll do a one more shot where I'll do a walkthrough with the whole boat that we've done. One thing that I've noticed that I'm not too happy with, we picked out this carpet from Home Depot because it's our closest source we can get to it. It's pretty good quality. I'm not worried about the quality and how it came out, but this black color shows every single little, you can see the little flakes and stuff like that. And we've vacuumed this multiple times. So, and you can see down below, it's been vacuumed, but you still see every little flake. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're gonna redo the carpet, don't do black. We haven't even really used it yet, and I'm already getting irritated with how dirty it looks all the time. So live and learn. Maybe when this one gets worn out, we'll put a different color in, but pick a different color. All right, we've completed one more project with Petro. The video, we missed a few shots here and there as we got excited trying to get it all done, but I wanted to give you a final walkthrough of everything. So, what I was saying before, we found some really nice seats off of Amazon. Super happy with these. They just screwed in and out once we got the right length screws. Sort of finished up the project, but you'll see overall, since we've gotten the boat, we polished everything up. We replaced the carpet on the back and the front. we installed a pretty sweet little stereo system, just so we can have some tunes when we're going to the fishing spot. Now the way this cabinet worked out really well, super happy how strong it came out. You'll see we open it here, made a little stand for it, and then we have this compartment too, another place to store all the tackle. So a lot more efficient than it was before. One before it had any platform, and then the last platform which we removed, which was just a piece of plywood. So pretty happy with how it came out. We got locking compartments. Actually found some manufacturer that matched the old ones, so it looks like we did it on purpose. Pretty happy with this project for a 35-year-old boat. Really happy with the boat. Luke found a great deal when he found this one. The other thing, and maybe we'll do another video of, is showing how we got this old fiberglass gel to shine. You can see got a real shine on there. I bought a new product called Leprechaun Magic, and like we'll talk about that maybe in another video. But it's pretty neat. It didn't do all of this shine. We wet sanded it to get it to there. But on the inside where we really couldn't get the wet sander in, this is really a cool little product. It's beeswax based. Local from New Hampshire, and we just put it on the old fiberglass, and it took that chalkiness away. We'll see how it works in the sun and see how long it lasts, but I got to tell you, you just wipe it on and wipe it off, and it looks like it does. I mean, this is a 35-year-old glitter gel coat bass boat, and they are super hard to keep clean. So check this stuff out. I'm still playing with it. Maybe I'll do another video on how it works, but very happy so far. So till the next project.